in with that. Wildcat Volleyball is on the air. Matt Nelson with you. So happy you can join us tonight. MIAC Volleyball and Wildcat Athletics is on tjsportsonline.net. Matt Nelson again, so happy to be with you on a cool, crisp fall St. Paul night. Joined again by engineer Travis Monroe. The capable hands of Travis pushing the buttons and turning the levers and making it look so easy while he's doing it. He truly is the man. Tonight, the Wildcats hosting Carleton College in their Knights. Good start to the season for the Knights. 1-2 in the MIAC, 9-3 overall. The Wildcats 8-8, 0-3 so far in the MIAC, looking for that first conference win, and that's what I talked to head coach Corey Phelps about just a few short moments ago.
With that, Wildcat Volleyball continues the pregame show on tjsportsonline.net, and as always, we bring you into the office where the magic happens, in the office of head coach Corey Phelps. Coach, good to see you again. You guys have Carleton tonight. Should be a close competitive match on paper. It looks like it should be, but we always do this before we talk about tonight's match. We look in the rearview mirror. It's been a tough stretch of matches looking back. Your last time out, though, was against Gustavus.
Yeah, it has been record-wise a tough stretch, but developmentally we've made good strides in the last few. We lost to Gustavus last match, who at this point is at the top of the conference and playing very well, and to be honest, are more offensively potent than we are. And the fact that we were able to battle in sets 2, 3, and 4, take a set from them, and prove to ourselves that we're worthy of competing with some of the best in the conference was a big step for us.
Another close one, Martin Luther. That won 5 sets.
Yeah, going into that, my focus was let's make sure that we are understanding better how to run our offensive system and stay disciplined in our defensive system. So we made a point to overload the middle and run them whenever possible, and it made a big difference. And then they just threw a couple sets together and snuck away with it.
Carleton, what do you know about them? They're off to a 1-2 start through their first 3 matches in the conference.
I know that they're a team that's always tough to beat. I picked them toward the top of the conference. I figured they would make the playoffs this year. They return a lot of quality players. Their biggest losses are libero, who was the stabilizing factor in their serve receive and their ball control. And that has played a toll in where they are right now. I believe that one of the reasons that they struggle when they struggle is because they're not in system enough to get the ball to their big gun, Lucy Stevens.
Second conference match at home for you guys today. The first one started off very well, then it came off the rails a bit. There was a lesson in there, though, somewhere, though, for your team, was there not? You always talk about, pulling those positives out, finding those lessons and moving on. Like you mentioned, you've gone deep into some of these matches since then, won a few matches since then, but for your team, it's now their second time out in conference play in 16.
I wouldn't say that we derailed a bit. I would say that we completely destroyed the track and wrecked the train. We were up huge in the first set, and you're right, things fell apart, and we couldn't regain our composure after that. And the result of that first set was the main factor in sets 2 and 3. I mean, we just couldn't
shake
over that. Yeah, and you're right. We did look at that as a learning opportunity, and I talked to the team that night and for the next week about playing the now. Don't worry about what happened the last point or the last set. You just need to play the ball that's in the air at this moment. And I think we're definitely improving at that. That's a hard thing to learn, especially as a player who's just learning what this conference is like. So are we where we need to be? Not quite, but are we making strides in the right direction? I totally believe that.
In the middle, you guys had so much experience last year, but your young middles are putting up some pretty solid numbers on the stat sheet.
They are. And that's, again, why we wanted to make sure that they were focused last weekend, just because they were doing the right things but weren't getting rewarded for it. And teams weren't taking note that they're respectable. So at this point, because they're doing better, they have to wait that extra half second, which hopefully opens up our offense down the road.
You think they can, as they grow into this role, you think that they're the type of players that could become, in time, those more reliable go-to sources of offense like Besh was last season?
I guarantee it. I think that the middles that we have right now have the potential to be better than the middles we had last year. And that's saying a lot because you know how good Besh was, and Amber set the school record for blocks in a season. So those are big shoes to fill, and having 3 freshmen come in and try to do that is daunting for sure, but I think that they're doing a great job so far.
Thought your libero looked as good as ever the first time I saw her. Obviously, for everybody, as the St. Mary's match went on, it got a little bit, a little untight. I'll let you put the unpolitically correct spin on it, but just really looks sound, veteran, and serves tough as heck.
Yeah, she is currently number 3 in digs in the country in D3, and in the top 6 or 7 in digs per set, and she's going to stay right up there in both of those categories, and her serve is one of the best in the region, and teams know it, so they're not hitting at her, which I would do too, but she is a steadying force and is the key to our defensive success.
I'll get you out of here on this one. I know we got to get back upstairs. It's incredible to think we're already 16 matches deep into 2016. It's remarkable.
Yeah.
From the coach's chair, evaluate the play of your setters.
It is solid. They're learning stuff every day. Obviously, the 2 returners didn't get a ton of playing time last year, and the freshman is a freshman. And the fact that they're able to learn as quickly as they have what running an effective offense means says a lot about their mindset and their work ethic. They have a lot to learn still, and that's not going to come in 2 weeks. It's going to be a process by trial and error, and we're going to have skids that we give up lots of points, and we're going to have points where we run off a bunch in a row as well. It's all about confidence and momentum. So I think that we're in a good place, and it's just going to get better.
Coach, best of luck tonight with Carleton. Let's go get that W.
Amen.
All right, there he goes. That was head coach Corey Phelps at our Wildcat pregame show. Right on time here on this Wednesday night. Let's send it down courtside to honor America with the playing of the Star Spangled Banner. Then we'll bring it upstairs to preview St. Kate's and Carleton, MIAC volleyball on TJ Sports Online from the Butler Center in St. Paul. But first, we honor America.
Please raise the flag to honor America playing our national anthem. Play and encourage to sing along.
Bring it back upstairs here at the Butler Center. Matt Nelson again, joined by engineer Travis Monroe tonight. And again, we thank him for all of his efforts in making this broadcast possible, as well as the sponsors of Wildcat Athletics. A reminder, you can reach out to the booth. We love interacting with volleyball fans, whether they're fans tonight cheering on the Knights or the Cats. We encourage you to email the booth. It's wildcatsbooth@gmail.com. We had a very interactive first match from the Butler Center. I'd imagine more of the same tonight, as these midweek matches tend to keep more people at home, and especially those in outstate Minnesota, whereas on the weekend matches you tend to get bigger and bigger crowds. Let's talk about these two teams, Heidi Janes and her Carleton College Knights. 9-3 on the season, 1-2 so far in the MIAC. Their last time out wasn't a good one, though. They were swept at home at West Gym down there in Northfield against Augsburg College in the Augies. But this is a team that's had some success. 9-3 overall on the season, and a team that you heard Coach Phelps really thought could perform at a high level in 2016. For the Wildcats, 8-8 on the season, 0-3 in the MIAC. This is a team that has lost their last 4 matches against the following opponents. University of Dubuque, it was a 4-setter. St. Thomas swept the Wildcats. Martin Luther took 5 sets, but Martin Luther, just as you heard, just squeaked that one out against St. Kate's, and then a 4-set loss against Gustavus that's right now off to a really tremendous start in 2016. Gustavus 3-0, finds them on top of the MIAC alongside of Augsburg and St. Thomas, and they've got a 12-2 mark on their overall record. The Wildcats joined right now at 0-3 by Bethel, a team that has really struggled after coming into the season with high expectations. They'll be here, the Royals, on Friday night. St. Kate's and St. Olaf all now at 0-3. The Wildcats looking for that first conference win on the season, and as you can hear downstairs, as enthusiastic as ever as we're ready for action. As you watch along on your computer screens, there you see the Wildcats with the gold tops, piped in white with the black shorts and the purple numerals, and across the net from them is Carleton College and the Knights, all navy tonight, piped with white numerals, and the gray libero jersey, the Wildcats libero Shanae Hurd wearing the white jersey adorned with the purple numeral 6 tonight. Our email address, wildcatsbooth@gmail.com, if you want to reach out to the booth. Player to watch for the Knights, for you Wildcat fans, really keep your eyes on Lucy Stevens, their top hitter, best hitting percentage in the conference at .364, and second in kills in kills per set, just under 4%, and third in overall kills. She's got 179 of those, but kills per set, overall kills is not a number that interests me. Some teams can play a lot of 3-set matches, 5-set matches. I like that kills per set number, just under 4%. That's where their offense primarily runs. Newman gets a start at setter tonight for the Wildcats. She's back and ready to serve it, and we will be off to the races. Here we go. Carleton College will have their first look at it. It's Trichler bumping it up ahead for Carriger, bounded it over. Now Hurd will come near side for Palmer. That's dug out of the back row again. Carriger goes setting middle, Lucy Stevens, and Stevens has her first kill of the night. The junior is out of Portland, Oregon, and is having a whale of a junior year. 6'2" middle blocker, 3.89 kills per set, and a very robust .364 hitting percentage to go along with 35 blocks. Good defensive player, and they run their offense out of that middle as well. 1-0 lead for Carleton early going as Newman picked it out of the net, but it'll just bound towards the Wildcat bench. It's a service ace. First of the night for either team. Belongs to Emily Tonogai. First ace for the Knights. And Tonogai serves with their Knights up 2-0. Low pass for Newman, who popped it up. It's tapped over the net by Cruiser. Now a back row try for Carleton. That's Trish Hare's first swing of the night. She couldn't get it down. Cruiser again goes off to the right side and gets the kill. Point for the Wildcats. Libby Cruiser, freshman, one of the young guns in this program. 1.5 kills per set, .66 hitting percentage, and 40 blocks for the freshman out of White Bear Lake. She went to Totino Grace High School. 2-1, Carleton. Set number 1 action. Palmer back to serve. Low lining serve is sent ahead for Tonogai. They go out in the middle and they get a kill. The middle so far has been effective for Carleton. No surprise there. That's where they run the bulk of their offense out of. 9-3 on the season, 1-2 in the MIAC. Cruiser, the lone point so far for the Wildcats. Back to serve it is Flitner. Wildcats go to Cruiser on the right side. That time she missed long. Kill before last. That was Carriger, her first. Hitting error for the Wildcats. It's a 3-point early lead for Carleton. Got the bounce off of the tape. Palmer for Newman. Into the middle she goes. Flatness couldn't put it down. It's dug out of the back row by Carleton. Swinging away there was Stevens. Wildcats dug it out, kept alive by Tonagai, but it'll fall to the floor. Point for the Wildcats, it's 4-2. And Shanae Hurd will go to the service line, the tough serving senior libero, 25 aces on the season to go along with her 6 1/3 digs per set. Another tough knuckling serve to her counterpart, Trichler. They'll set right side, and Carleton carried it. They tried to get it to Stevens on the slide, nothing doing. The whistle makes it a 1-point set, 4-3 Carleton. As Hurd again fires away, Hare pumps it ahead, and reaching over the net out of the middle that time was Carleton, so a point for the Wildcats, notches it at 4 apiece. It was Caroline Duku, and reaching over the net, the senior out of Evanston, Illinois, home of the Wildcats. And tonight she's taking on the Wildcats and an ace. Shanae Hurd buried it at the shoe tops of Katie Trichler, and the Wildcats match Carleton's ace with one of their own. 5-4, first lead of the night for the Wildcats. Hurd serves again. This time Trichler, much better pass. They'll set it to the right side. Stevens, she got blocked, but it's out of bounds. Wildcats had a good block with Mullen in position. Baker was in there. Newman was in the area as well, but it was blocked out of bounds, and Stevens will head to the service line. Palmer picked that one away from Hurd. Newman set the middle. Mullen couldn't put it down. And again, another whistle against Carleton. They hit it twice. Illegal contact. It's called against Emily Tonogai. The seniors out of Los Altos, California. Los Altos, up there the southern end of the San Francisco Peninsula. Beautiful part of the country. Bumped ahead, tapped over by Catherine Miles, and the Cats can't keep it alive. Miles has her first kill. Junior out of Park Ridge, Illinois. Los Altos, a part of Santa Clara County, California. Wonder if they're listening out there in CA tonight. You think so? Our engineer thinks that San Fran Bay Area is listening tonight. We'll find out. WildcatsBooth@gmail.com. Wildcats scored. Mullen out of the middle. Mullen scores 1.86 kills per set on the season for Mullen, and her .301 hitting percentage is 4th best in the MIAC. So Santa Clara County, if you're listening tonight, WildcatsBooth@gmail.com, rooting on your Knights. Carleton, a pretty geographically diverse roster, as they always have. They go to the middle and get a kill. That's Wanzenreed, the sophomore out of Minnetonka. Now we know where that is. Western suburbs of Minneapolis. We're tied at 7 apiece. Trish Hare to the service line. Good season so far for the senior out of Northbrook, Illinois. 1 3/4 kills percent. She's got herself an ace. An ace for Carleton. Shanae Hurd got handcuffed, second ace of the night for the Knights. And Trish Hare will retreat back to the service line. Flat-footed serve, Palmer goes ahead for Hish, and the Wildcats missed out of bounds. Marissa Kish in doing the setting duties. Freshman out of Cretin-Derham Hall High School. She grew up in Oakdale. And it's 9-7, a 2-point lead for Carleton. Wildcats have led it once. That was at 5-4. Palmer for Kish. Right back for Abby. Off to the left side. That time it was dug out by Hare. To the near side now. Wanzenreed. Cats were able to dig it out. Mackenzie Peppers swings away at it. That one goes up into the rafters. It was chased down by Trichler and bumped over by Trish Hare. Now Wildcats again try Pepper. They couldn't put it down that time. Into the middle it goes. They turned away the attack from Miles. Still going back and forth. Good rally. Best of the night. Pepper into the back row for Carleton. They'll set middle once more. Miles attacks. Wildcats send it back with Mullen. Back and forth we go. A war of attrition, and Carleton got the better of the Wildcats. Carriger, Maggie Carriger off of the left side. 1 1/3 kills per set. And she scores at the first to double digits as the Carleton Knights. It's 10-7. And Palmer, left side. Wildcats answer with one of their own. It's 10-8. And we just got confirmation Los Altos is listening tonight to the broadcast. So welcome to St. Paul. A cool, crisp Wednesday night in the capital city here at the Butler Center under the warm shelter of St. Catherine University. Catherine Miles has her second kill. Charlie, thank you for writing into the broadcast. We hope you enjoy it tonight. Now it says that he's watching from Seattle. But there are folks listening in Los Altos. Oh, nice looking shot. Pepper off of the right side. And Mackenzie Pepper, 1.5 kills per set. She is her first. So Charlie, thanks for tuning in. We know where his allegiance is, though, tonight. He's cheering on Carleton and the Knights. We heard from plenty of Wildcat fans last week as well against St. Mary's. That was actually 2 weeks ago. The time, it does fly by, Travis. Wildcats already 16 matches deep into their season at 500, 8-8. Carleton goes back to that slide, and Stevens has her second kill. And it's 12-9. So whether you're rooting on the Knights or the Wildcats, this is an interactive broadcast. One speaking to many is not nearly as much fun as many speaking to many. That's what I say. Wildcats tried the left side. And a hitting error as that one went flying long. Emma Nelson, the freshman out of Byron, Minnesota, misfired on her. Tried the lead for Carleton, has been pushed to 4. Both coaches still at their full complement of timeouts and a service error. That one went wide. Gets the Wildcats in double digits. First service error for either team. And Palmer will go back to serve it. Palmer, another strong year. More than 2 kills per set for the senior out of Pequot Lakes. 159 hitting percentage and digging at a very efficient rate as well. Mass goes ahead. Tono Guy tried the left side. Duke got turned away. Now Newman will reset the offense for the Cats. Cruiser! And she got the kill. Cruiser went right at the blocking duo of Carragher and Stevens. And it's the second of the night for the freshman Cruiser. 4-point lead has been narrowed to deuce. 13-11. Palmer, low lining serve. Tritchler ahead into the middle. Stevens as good as gold. Boy, that was wide open into the middle. Lucy Stevens, her third. Keyed by a very nifty pass out of that back row. We were giving all that love to Los Altos, California. Might as well talk about the juniors' efforts on the season. Close to 5.5 digs per set for the Carleton Knights. Big part of their success this year. Ton of guys. Stevens again on the side. Squeezed it through the block. Hurd couldn't chase it down. And Stevens is right on her season pace. She's got 4 kills. She averages 3.9 per set. 15-11 timeout. St. Kate's. Corey Phelps uses his first. And we'll do the same. You're listening to Wildcat Volleyball. Carleton 15, St. Kate's 11 from St. Paul.
Providing innovative food and beverage solutions since 1955 is Midwest Vending. Servicing organizations large and small throughout the Twin Cities, including St. Catherine's University. Proud to offer unwavering integrity, in-demand products, innovative technology, and personal attention. Give them a call at 952-707-1990 or visit MidwestVending.com. For fitness equipment, treadmills, home gyms, exercise bikes, weights, and more, it's Push Pedal Pull. The exercise equipment experts, ready to help you with your fitness needs. Online at pushpedalpull.com, a proud supporter of St. Kate's Wildcat Sports.
Bring it back into the Butler Center. Early action, set number 1. Carleton on top of St. Kate's, 15-11. Matt Nelson joined by engineer Travis Monroe. I mentioned earlier in the broadcast a geographically diverse crew for Heidi James and her Carleton College Knights. You look at the Wildcat roster, It is predominantly, I believe they have 1 player, 2 players from Wisconsin east of the border. The rest of the crew is all from the land of 10,000 lakes. Illegal contact against the Wildcats pushes the Carleton lead to 5. So you've got 2 players from Wisconsin and a flatness out of Elkmount, and then also out of Osceola, Mackenzie Pepper, 2 of the young guns. Stevens got dug out by her. That was a nice effort. Konagai works it ahead. Tritchler, all she can do is bump it over. Hurd, nice looking set to Peyton Baker, but she got stymied. Oh, a block. First of the night for either team. It was Stevens and Duke, the blocking duo for Carleton. So the 2 players from Wisconsin for St. Kate's. Meanwhile, Carleton always pulls from all over the country. Academically, as a service error makes it 17-12. Represented, you've got Yorba Linda, California, Evanston, Illinois, Los Altos, which we've talked about, Northbrook, Illinois, Park Ridge, Illinois, Seattle, Washington, Presho, South Dakota, Portland, Oregon, a lot of Pacific Northwest, La Crosse, Wisconsin, San Diego, Glencoe, Illinois, Carriger, Palos Verdes Estates in California. Don't know where that is, but it sounds like a great place to be. And Kenosha, Wisconsin. So you kind of have the bizarro world, right? That's where everything is opposite. Service error for Stevens. It's the 3rd of the night for Carleton. I'm not a comic book guy. Where you, Travis, is bizarro world where everything's opposite in the Superman universe? I think it is. So this is bizarro world St. Kate's roster, all from Minnesota. For Carleton, just 1 player from Minnesota, if I'm not going crazy, which is always a possibility. Wanzenreed, Minnetonka, that's the only one. In the middle, first block of the night for St. Kate's. Mullen and Baker were there, teaming up for it. It was a doubleheader Wednesday on this campus. Volleyball and soccer were home. Wildcats hosting McAllister in soccer. And St. Kate's obviously with Carleton in town. Service error for the Cats. They're first. It's 19-14. Wildcats are going to have to make something happen quickly with Carleton holding on to this 5-point advantage. Duke back to serve it. Palmer ahead. There's Kish into the middle. Swinging away was Mullen, and she missed long. Hitting error for the Wildcats, who have struggled offensively in this first set. Carleton College hitting .333. The Wildcats just .04. Wildcats just 7 kills on 23 tries. Carleton with 10 on 24 tries. Service error. That one went long for Carleton, their 2nd. Check that, it's their 4th. Wildcats still with just the 1 service error. Leading attacker, no surprise, Stevens with her 5 kills. 20-15, Wildcats need a run. And they need it here with Nelson at the service line, but Carleton has other ideas. They go to the right side and get a kill. It's 21-15. So after the Caroline Duke service error, Carleton goes right back to that right side, gets a kill, pushes it to 21-15. Trish Hare at the service line. Palmer ahead for Kish. Out of the back row, they tried Mullen. She was turned away, so they'll reload with Pepper, and she hits long. Hitting error for Pepper. So the Wildcats follow up the kill by Miles with a hitting error. Hare at the service line, near side. That's Palmer swinging away. Dug out nicely by Trish Hare. Into the middle they go. Miles was turned away. Somehow kept alive. Nicely done by Carleton. They'll try Palmer again. Oh, she whistled one right around that antenna. Very good looking, emphatic swing for the veteran Palmer. Her first kill trims the Carleton lead to 6, 22-16. Mullen at the service line this game. All kinds of implications. Set tightly to the net. It was kept alive by Duke. Wildcats should have a good look at this though. Flatness. Trichler dug it out of the back row. Hit it into the net. Somehow Carleton pulled it out and sent it over. Attacking is Pepper, and she scored it. Pepper went right at Carriger and Hare and got her 2nd kill. 22-17. It's a 5-point match. Our email address, if you're joining us late, is wildcatsbooth@gmail.com. This is an interactive broadcast. Mullen misfired, second service error for the Wildcats. That's a costly one. That was kind of make or break time territory for St. Kate's, and they'll use that second timeout. Carleton will serve when we bring you back, and they'll be up 6, 23-17, first set action. From the Butler Center in St. Paul, you're listening to Wildcat Volleyball.
Transporting Wildcat athletes is in the capable hands of Northfield Lines, Inc., dedicated to ensuring that your travel experience is a positive one. Call to request a quote or to make a reservation, 888-670-8068, or visit their website, northfieldlines.com. Hungry before or after the game? Visit one of the 27 locations of Noodles & Company around the metro area. For menu, hours, locations, and online ordering, go to noodles.com.
This is Kelsey Whaley, Sports Information Director at St. Kate's, and you're watching Wildcat Webcast. Go Cats!
Twin Cities Orthopedics offers a full spectrum of orthopedic care to individuals suffering sports-related problems and injuries. Their doctors are team physicians to the University of St. Catherine's, Augsburg College, Hamline University, and others. Visit tcomn.com. On your way to or from the game or anytime, visit your area Little Caesars. There is one just off the St. Kate's campus at 635 Snelling Avenue South. Call ahead with your order, 651-699-5551. Keep up.
Bring you back in with Katie Tritchler at the service line for the Carleton Knights. They're up 23-17 out of the second Wildcat timeout. Kept alive by Wanzenried. Set into the middle, Flatness couldn't put it away. Carleton will try their left side. Carragher, and she squeezed it right in between Palmer and Hurd, two of the best defensive players for the Wildcats. It's a kill for Carleton, 24-17, your new score. Set point for the Knights. Kish. Dug out of the back row, the Knights trying the left side. That time Hurd was there to dig it out from Carragher. Palmer went with the set shot over the little touch shot over the block. It was dug out by Carleton. Now Palmer again, and that time she scored it. Second time was the charm. She went with the touch shot on her first try. That time she powered it right through Duke and Wanzenried. Palmer, her second kill of this first set. Still set point for Carleton College. Newman at the service line. Here comes the southpaw with it. Not a great pass. Tritchler will chase it down, and attacking out of the back row is Hare. Wildcats dig it. Going in the middle. Flatness burned one nicely, but Tritchler stayed in there. Hurd dug out. And a hitting error for the Wildcats will send us to set number 2. Cruiser went way up for it. Misfired. Not the best offensive set of volleyball for St. Kate's, although they did garner some momentum in the latter stages of the set. 25-18 your final score in set number 1 as Carleton takes a 1-set advantage. Set number 2 coming your way when we come back from the Butler Center in St. Paul. Carleton College strikes first. The Wildcats will look to even it up when we come back.
Providing innovative food and beverage solutions since 1955 is Midwest Vending. Servicing organizations large and small throughout the Twin Cities, including St. Catherine's University. Proud to offer unwavering integrity, in-demand products, innovative technology, and personal attention. Give them a call at 952-707-1990 or visit MidwestVending.com. For fitness equipment, treadmills, home gyms, exercise bikes, weights, and more, it's Push Pedal Pull. The exercise equipment experts, ready to help you with your fitness needs. Online at pushpedalpull.com, a proud supporter of St. Kate's Wildcat Sports.
This is Eric Stacy, Athletic Director at St. Catherine University. You're listening to St. Kate's Athletics. Go Wildcats.
Transporting Wildcat athletes is in the capable hands of Northfield Lines, Inc., dedicated to ensuring that your travel experience is a positive one. Call to request a quote or to make a reservation, 888-670-8068, or visit their website, northfieldlines.com. Hungry before or after the game? Visit one of the 27 locations of Noodles & Company around the metro area. For menu, hours, locations, and online ordering, go to noodles.com.
This is Kelsey Whaley, Sports Information Director at St. Kate's, and you're watching Wildcat Webcast. Go Cats!
Twin Cities Orthopedics offers a full spectrum of orthopedic care to individuals suffering sports-related problems and injuries. Their doctors are team physicians to the University of St. Catharines, Augsburg College, Hamline University, and others. Visit tcomn.com. On your way to or from the game or anytime, visit your area Little Caesars. There is one just off the St. Kate's campus at 635 Snelling Avenue South. Call ahead with your order, 651-699-5551. Keep up with the activities of TJ Broadcast Services on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at TJ Sports Online.
All right, welcome back in to the campus of the University, or St. Catherine University, pardon me. Closing in on about 7:30 here in the Central Time Zone. Matt Nelson alongside of Travis Monroe, our engineer tonight, who makes it look really ridiculously easy. He truly is the gold standard in engineering in the upper Midwest. This guy's unbelievable. He was out in Milwaukee last week. Was it last weekend you guys were up in Milwaukee with TJ Sports? 3 weeks ago you guys went up there, but we're still talking about it because it was a tremendous undertaking to get you and Witchy out there, but you guys had a lot of fun while you were at it. Carleton wins set number 1 at 28-15. If you're just joining us, Matt Nelson again alongside of Travis Monroe. The email address, wildcatsbooth@gmail.com, whether you're rooting for the Wildcats or in this case, the Knights. Kim Stevens, the city of Roses is listening. Portland, Oregon chiming into the broadcast. The city of Roses out there in the Pacific Northwest. Welcome to St. Paul. So far, so good for the Knights. The Wildcats, though, looking to even this thing up, and they're off to the right start. Abby Palmer goes to the right side. Goes with the touch shot over the block and scores her 3rd kill of the night. So, Kim, thank you for tuning in to Wildcat Athletics. I'll give you a brain buster there, Travis, as Stevens gets the kill right on cue. I can go into my Lucy Stevens trivia. Her high school nickname out there in Portland, she played at Oregon Episcopal. And what was their nickname? Come on. I'll bet you the Stevens are still big fans of the Aardvarks. The Aardvarks. Before winding up in Northfield, he played for the Aardvarks. As the Wildcats push it to a 2-1 lead. And a service error for St. Kate's. Libby Cruiser pounded that one into the twine. And it's his 3rd service error of the night for St. Kate's. And I didn't just know that, I had to go to the Carleton website in case you were wondering. There, the Wildcats, they're getting the middles going. Hannah Flatness, her 1st kill of the evening. So I did cheat. As Newman goes back to the service line, Wildcats on top. They really felt like this was a match they had circled on their schedule, that this was the kind of matches that they need to be winning if they want to compete for a playoff spot. As Flatness got the kill and then Stevens answered with one of her own. We're trading the number 12 here, back and forth, counterparts. 3-3 the score. Stevens back to the service line. Newman, nice quick set in the middle for Flatness. Stevens bounced it straight up for Tonagai. Back row attack dug out by the Wildcats. Here comes Baker approaching. Overpass sent back over by Flatness, who got just enough on it. Oh, she reached way up for that one. Just got enough spin on it to bounce that one over the Carleton block. So far, a strong contingent of Knights fans writing into the broadcast. We need to hear from some of these Wildcats fans. Granted, a lot of them are here. Short drives from some of the suburban schools, but we want to hear from fans of the purple and gold. As Corey Phelps' team holding on to a 1-point lead here in set number 2. Hurd diving for that one to keep it alive. Newman will set the near side, dug out of the Back row by Tonagai. Now Palmer for Newman. Sets middle for Flatness, who's been hot in set number 2. It was kept alive, but then a car crash in the middle of the floor for the Knights. It was Tonagai and Miles colliding with each other. It's a point for the Wildcats. It's 5-3. Palmer just managed to get it over. Hurd kept it alive as Miles couldn't put it down with power, and Flatness, a hitting error, came up, and her try came up short right into the near side of the twine. 5-4 your score. Wildcats their last time out. Flatness, really nice match with 14 kills. It was a 4-setter. Gustavus won that 3-1 as Flatness misfired again. That time missing wide. Time prior to that it was short. That time went wide. Carolyn Duke back at the service line. Hurd ahead for Newman. They'll try Flatness once more. Dug out by Duke. The Knights, they try Wanzenreed. Wildcats were ready for it. Out of the near side. Turned away by Carleton. Hurd kept it alive, and Flatness whiffed. She came charging up to the net. Kelly Brewer was up there as well. Brewer and Flatness, as Brewer's come off of the bench, as early Cruiser and Pepper didn't have much going on offensively for Coach Phelps. He reaches into his bench for Brewer. Flatness again, got it around the block, but couldn't get it inside of the tape. It's 7-5. Wildcats came out to an early lead in this second set as they try to even it up. But they've seen that lead taken away from them, and now it's Carleton on top, 7-5. Palmer. The dig is dug out over on second contact. Went Duke. The Cats were ready for it. Flatness got it through the block. Trichler was there to chase it down. Left side try. It was Hare. Now bounded over by Palmer, and Palmer got the kill. As Palmer just tipped it over for her 4th kill. WildcatsBooth@gmail.com. If you want to write in and interact with the broadcast. Trichler, that was a beauty of a dime ahead for Duke. Wanzenreed, though, couldn't put it away. And Palmer, her pass is errant, and it's 8-6. Wildcats climbed to within 1. Now the lead back to 2 for Carleton College. Faith Skinner, I think I just saw, entered the match for the first time. Just under 2 kills per set. And a service ace for the Knights. Trish Hare, the 3rd of the night for Carleton College. Carleton still hitting a very healthy .310, not on this set, but on the night. Palmer, cross-court try, dug out by Hare, but it goes into the net. Kill for Palmer is her 5th. And again, the Wildcats climb. Thought it was to within 1, but they've got 9-7 up on the scoreboard. 9-7's good. Larissa Kish serving, and she's got an ace. She's got an ace. Katie Trichler couldn't handle the freshman serve. 2nd ace for the Cats. And they can tie it on this next point, 9-8 your score. This time a much better pass goes ahead for Duke, who sets the right side and gets a kill. It's Catherine Miles, her 4th. For Miles, the junior. And just as they were in set number 1, Carleton the first to double digits. It's 10-8. Trichler back to serve. It's a service error. That one came up short, 5th of the night for Carleton College. You know, one of the things that I often have talked about with former Gopher head coach Mike Hebert and now current head coach Hugh McCutcheon, former Olympic head coach. I'm lucky to call both of those guys friends. Wanzenreed has her 2nd kill. It's 11-9. It's just a great privilege for a volleyball fan to be able to collaborate with those guys. And they're both just volleyball dictionaries, but sometimes I would get caught up on, you lost this set by 2 points and you had 4 service errors. You could have won it by 2 if you could have just served a little bit tougher. But a lot of times what they explain to me, I still report service errors. It's a legit stat that you want to know. But what they both told me is, yeah, we might have had 4 service errors, but the reason the set was even close was because we were serving so aggressively and serving so tough. So we might have won some points that don't show up on the box score as Carleton went into the net. It was Carolyn Duke called for going into the net. So yeah, we might have had blank service errors, let's say 3 hypothetically, but we won 9 points because we were serving so aggressively. Just a 2-point set here. This is a close one. Tonogai will set Stevens in the middle, and she sent a missile just beyond the left shoulder of Abby Palmer. Stevens has her 8th kill. It's 13-10. And I always feel comfortable promoting it because I know Coach Phelps at St. Kate's, as that's an error, that went long. Flittner missed long. 6th service error for Carleton, because I know he's a great admirer of Hugh McCutcheon and his coaching acumen. If you're a volleyball fan, check out the Point U podcast. I do it every couple weeks with Hugh McCutcheon. You can find it online. And if you're a volleyball fan, you like talking shop, that kind of inside baseball and volleyball, you got to tune it in. There's a block for St. Kate's. Flatness and Baker pair up. It's the 2nd block of the night for St. Kate's. It brings them to within just a point. Flatness 31 blocks on the season, adding to that total here tonight. Trichler ahead. Not her best pass of the evening. Wildcats, though, couldn't put it away. Nice dig by Flittner. Now Palmer has it. Newman thought about Flatness and said Baker, and that one went long. Threw both of her hands up, did the best she could with the set that she got, but really had nowhere to go with it. 14-12 Carleton. So, if you like to talk that kind of garage talk volleyball style, tune it in. He does all the talking, I just kind of sit there. But anytime you can learn from an Olympian, you have to take that opportunity. Flatness out of the outstretched hands of Flittner. And Hannah, her 3rd kill of the night, 14-13. Good battle here in set number 2. Carleton won set number 1, 25-18 if you're just joining us. The Knights hitting .319 on the night. The Wildcats just .068. In the middle, and Carleton squeezed it through the block. Catherine Miles, good defensive player, but also hitting .271 on the season when she gets involved in the offense. Just shy of 2 kills per set. She's got her 5th of the night. It's 15-13. Duke will serve it. Hurd ahead for Newman. She backs into that one. Flatness was turned away. Hurd was there to keep it alive. So Newman will try Palmer off the left side. Dug out. Duke sets near side. Trish Hare got it around the block. Hurd was there to dig it. Middle. Flatness try. Somehow kept alive by Wanzen Reed, who swings at it now. Dug out by the Wildcats. Another good rally here. Sent back over by Brewer. Into the middle we go. That's Miles. Newman the dig. Hurd chases it down. Nifty pass to Palmer. And that one was ruled out. Wildcats have been involved in some really long rallies. Just haven't been able to come out on the winning end of them as of late. 16-13 your score. Duke serves it. Good pass ahead for Newman. Flatness in rhythm. Kept alive. No, a kill. And a Flatness has her 4th. Very nice looking in rhythm point. Great pass, perfect set by Newman. Set it quickly to Flatness, and the freshman hammered it away. As you hear the heavy hand of Hurd firing her serve. That's dug out of the back row. Newman straight up, nobody's home. Brewer couldn't get around Newman. Cruiser was there as well, but nobody could chase it down. 17-14, now your score, 3-point match. Wildcats have 18 assists on their 19 kills. for Carleton. 17 on there, 19 kills. Newman for Palmer. Chased down by Duke. Tritchler to the near side. Skinner couldn't put it away. Wildcats will try Palmer. Nice looking swing. Boy, Palmer, she's just so crafty. And I always laugh because she never gives you that big emotion after the kill, but boy, she's creative in her shot making. 5'8" senior has been very effective tonight, leading offensive player for the Wildcats. She's got 6 kills. Duke sets it for Wanzenreed, and Wanzenreed goes cross court and has her 3rd kill. 18-15 the lead for Carleton, right back to 3. Just get the sense that if the Wildcats could make that one big play and garner some momentum, they might be able to find a way here in this second set. Cruiser did well just to get a left hand on that last one. Now Wanzenreed, dug out by Hurd. Near side, Pepper. Just tipped it right over the block. And Mackenzie Pepper, 5'10" sophomore, is her 3rd kill. It's a 2-point set, 18-16. Palmer, low lining serve. Duke got a good pass. Stevens on the slide. Hurd dug it out as she got the better of the middle blocker that time, but Stevens answers right back defensively with a block. Baker was stymied. Stevens leads the charge. 2nd block of the night for Carleton. 19-16, your updated score. Getting down to nitty-gritty and a timeout taken on the floor. Coach Phelps has to use his first. Carleton College, their bench hasn't had to use a timeout all night long. 19-16, your score. Wildcats looking for a rally in set number 2. And you are listening to Wildcat Volleyball.
Providing innovative food and beverage solutions since 1955 is Midwest Vending. Servicing organizations large and small throughout the Twin Cities, including St. Catherine's University. Proud to offer unwavering integrity, in-demand products, innovative technology, and personal attention. Give them a call at 952-707-1990 or visit MidwestVending.com. For fitness equipment, treadmills, home gyms, exercise bikes, weights, and more, it's Push Pedal Pull. The exercise equipment experts, ready to help you with your fitness needs. Online at pushpedalpull.com, a proud supporter of St. Kate's Wildcat Sports.
This is Eric Stacy, Athletic Director at St. Catherine University. You're listening to St. Kate's Athletics. Go Wildcats.
Transporting Wildcat athletes is in the capable hands of Northfield Lines, Inc., dedicated to ensuring that your travel experience is a positive one. Call to request a quote or to make a reservation, 888-670-8068, or visit their website, northfieldlines.com.
19-16, set number 2 action. Back with you, Matt Nelson, alongside engineer Travis Monroe. Palmer leading the way tonight for the Wildcats with her 6 kills. She has just quietly had what amounts to a very solid collegiate career playing volleyball. Ace for Carleton. Out of the timeout, it's a service ace for Emily Tonagai. The 4th of the night for the Knights, but Palmer, as it's 20-16. Last season, Palmer played in 31 matches, top 25 in the MIAC for digs and digs per set. Also had the 73 kills. As a sophomore, 4th on the team in kills. As a first-year player, she played in 30 matches and was 2nd on the team with 185 kills. 3rd on the team with digs, and she had 16 blocks as well. So going back to 2013, Palmer has had a very solid career. Wildcats got that block. It's 20-17, but they need a rally. Swinging away that time was Skinner, and Kish couldn't keep it alive. She chased it down in front of the Wildcats bench, threw an arm at it. Good effort, but another point for Carleton, 21-17. Into the middle, Flatness went over the block but went long. Tough night for Flatness. She's had some good moments offensively, but on her 20th try, still stuck at those 5 kills. Very impressive young player, though. Tritchler works it ahead. It's 22-17. Hurd for Kish. Tries the right side. Pepper dug out by Tritchler. Ahead, Tonogai for Hare. Hurd was there. Wildcats and Flatness couldn't connect with her setter Kish. 23-17. When that offense gets in rhythm and they start leaning and relying on those middles like we saw last year with Alyssa Besh, can be a very potent unit. Pepper just taps that one over. It's 23-17. Stevens got a roll shot on there. Now right side Pepper. Good looking swing, but Tonogai dug it out defensively. Carleton has good two-way players. Baker attacks. That's kept alive by Hare. We need to get Baker going. She's normally very reliable on the pins. They'll try the middle. Flatness, oh, with the left hand. Her 6th kill of the night. Very nifty, a little ambidextrous action for Flatness, who got plenty on it. Didn't just really tip it over. She went up there and got something on it. 23-18. Knights by 5. Wildcats have matched their point total from the first set. Now they look to surpass it and make a comeback. Stevens, right side. She got blocked. Baker and Flatness, the 4th block for St. Kate's. That's what they needed. 23-19 and a timeout taken. Carleton uses their first of the night. We'll do the same. Wildcats trying to pull off a comeback in set number 2 and even this thing up heading to the 3rd set. Meanwhile, the Knights looking to take a 2-0 lead into that 3rd set.
Providing innovative food and beverage solutions since 1955 is Midwest Vending. Servicing organizations large and small throughout the Twin Cities, including St. Catherine's University. Proud to offer unwavering integrity, in-demand products, innovative technology, and personal attention. Give them a call at 952-707-1990 or visit MidwestVending.com. For fitness equipment, treadmills, home gyms, exercise bikes, weights, and more, it's Push Pedal Pull. The exercise equipment experts, ready to help you with your fitness needs. Online at pushpedalpull.com, a proud supporter of St. Kate's Wildcat Sports.
This is Eric Stacy, Athletic Director at St. Catherine University. You're listening to St. Kate's Athletics. Go Wildcats.
Back out of the Carleton timeout. Matt Nelson back with you on TJ Sports Online at .net's coverage of MIAC volleyball. It's Emily Newman back at the service line. The Wildcats making the Knights earn this thing, making them sweat a little bit. Another block. Stevens in the middle, and again, Flatness and Baker team up on the block. The Wildcats with their 5th. They've outblocked the Knights 5-2 tonight. 23-20 now the lead. Cats within 3. And they'll set Duke off of the right side. Great dig by Newman. Now Hurd will try the near side, just tipped over the net by Brewer. Tonogai for Hare, and she got the kill. It was touched by the Wildcats, no doubt about it. Trish Hare on the kill. It's 24-20. Set point for Carleton. Cats need 4 in a row to force extra points. Hare's first kill of the evening pushes us to set point. Stevens at the service line, got plenty on it. Hurd. Palmer, back row, bumped ahead by Baker. Knights go to the slide and they get the kill. Catherine Miles, 6th kill of the night, sends us to the 3rd set. Carleton wins set number 2 by a score of 25-20. Set number 1 was 25-18. Set number 2, nearly a matching score as Carleton wins by a 5-point margin. The Wildcats will need to win 3 in a row to get their first MIAC win of the season. Carleton will go for the sweep. Wildcats, though, look to force a 4th set when we bring you back to St. Paul. You are listening to Wildcat Volleyball, a presentation of TJ Sports Online.net. And a big thanks again to our engineer Travis, as well as Athletics Director Eric Stacy and Head Coach Corey Phelps.
Transporting Wildcat athletes is in the capable hands of Northfield Lines, Inc., dedicated to ensuring that your travel experience is a positive one. Call to request a quote or to make a reservation, 888-670-8068, or visit their website, northfieldlines.com. Hungry before or after the game? Visit one of the 27 locations of Noodles & Company around the metro area. For menu, hours, locations, and online ordering, go to noodles.com.
This is Kelsey Whaley, Sports Information Director at St. Kate's, and you're watching Wildcat Webcast. Go Cats!
Twin Cities Orthopedics offers a full spectrum of orthopedic care to individuals suffering sports-related problems and injuries. Their doctors are team physicians to the University of St. Catherine's, Augsburg College, Hamline University, and others. Visit tcomn.com. On your way to or from the game or anytime, visit your area Little Caesars. There is one just off the St. Kate's campus at 635 Snelling Avenue South. Call ahead with your order, 651-699-5551. Keep up with the activities of TJ Broadcast Services on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at TJ Sports Online. Transporting Wildcat athletes is in the capable hands of Northfield Lines, Inc., dedicated to ensuring that your travel experience is a positive one. Call to request a quote or to make a reservation, 888-670-8068, or visit their website, northfieldlines.com. On your way to or from the game or anytime, visit your area Little Caesars. There is one just off the St. Kate's campus at 635 Snelling Avenue South. Call ahead with your order, 651-699-5551. Keep up with the activities of TJ Broadcast Services on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at TJ Sports Online.
Hi, this is Sean Pinkerton, basketball coach at St. Kate's. You're listening to Wildcat Basketball on tjsportsonline.net. Go Cats!
Bring you back in to the gym at the Butler Center on St. Catherine University's campus. Matt Nelson alongside of engineer Travis Monroe. So far, it's been all nights. They win set number 125-18 while hitting 312 on their way to it. They hit a $194 and set number 2 came back down to earth slightly, but still managed to close out St. Kate's 25-20 was your final score in set number 2, leading the way offensively. 8 kills for Lucy Stevens. That's best for the match. That's match high. Right on her heels is Abby Palmer. She's got 7. Flatness right behind her with 6 offensively for Carleton. It's been heavy on Lucy Stevens. Catherine Miles has also done some damage with her 6 kills. It hasn't been a particularly crisp showing for either team. I think I feel confident in saying that. We've had 2 sets played now to 25-18 and 25-20, and Carleton only has 23 kills. They're hitting 250. Wildcats the same, but on 83 attacks. They're just hitting 060. Back to work at set number 3. Wildcats trying to force a 4th set. They try into the middle. The tip shot dug out by Duke, who chased it down. Now Skinner dug out of the back row by Hurd. Newman sends middle, and yes, Libby Cruiser, her 3rd kill. Cruiser, her 3rd kill of the night. 40 blocks as well this season for the freshman. As Newman serves, the Wildcats draw first blood in this 3rd set. Nicely done by Hurd, who chased that one down on the back row. Got 2 of the better liberos in the conference going at it here tonight, but that time Stevens got one in on the hands of Baker, and Stevens has her 9th. 364 the hitting percentage on the season for Stevens. She's well below that, 263 so far on the night. 1-1 your score. Palmer right side. Tonogai, nice dig. Bumped over by Skinner, but it's going to be a point for the Wildcats that hit the antenna. So 2-1 now. Their score. Haven't seen Jonna Radke, the sophomore setter out of Muskego, Wisconsin yet. Palmer, an ace! That was a perfectly viewed, probably by our camera too. That probably looked like it was coming right at it. Plenty of spin on it. Really no chance for Skinner. An ace for Palmer. Third of the evening for the Wildcats. That is Stevens. She's got the kill. It was hit twice in the middle on the block by St. Kate's. It was carried. They're going to say Baker was the one who did it. And we've got our first player into double-digit kills. It's Stevens with 10. Offensively for St. Kate's, Palmer with 7, Flatness with 6. Pepper's got 4. There's a service error. Flittner came up short. 7th service error on the night for Carleton. For both of these teams, that's what they really want to do. They want to play stout defense and serve very tough, especially St. Kate's. That's a huge point of emphasis for them. That's a carry against Carleton. And it is a nice early lead for St. Kate's, 5-2. Last time out for Carleton, it didn't go their way against the Augies, 25-19, 25-17, and 25-20. The Augies went on the road to West Gym and got a pretty convincing win. Flatness attacks, dug out by Flittner, and she'll get a swing at it out of the back row. Palmer was there. Now Newman getting the bulk of the time at setter tonight. Pepper couldn't put it down. Over on second contact went Duke. The Wildcats were ready for that one. Pepper, greatly dug out by Skinner. Trichler will try a little roll shot out of that back row, and Newman just set it way too tightly to the net. No chance for Baker to attack. It's 5-3. And you sit here and you go, this is a nice part of the schedule for Carleton. They've got McAllister coming up, and then they're going to be playing in a home tournament at West Gym. Gustavus behind them. They've struggled early before a big test over at Schenecker against St. Thomas. 5-3 your score. Pepper didn't get much on it. Skinner was able to chase it down. Heavy back row attack by Stevens was dug out and sent back over by Hurd. And a block. Trish Hare was blocked. Flatness and Pepper team up for the 6th block for St. Kate's. That's one area where they have had the advantage. Newman back to the bench. Kish comes in to do the setting. That match against the Augies for Carleton their last time out. The Augies went out to leads of 9-3 and 15-8, so just early on in those sets, Jane Becker and her team were able to be really effective. Konogai went to the slide and found Catherine Miles, her 7th kill. And it said here, despite the swirling waters of the Cannon River rushing up to the West Gymnasium's walls, we have had a lot of rain lately in the land of 10,000 lakes, and I guess down there in Northfield they were busy sandbagging and playing volleyball while they were at it. A kill out of the middle. Nicely done for the Wildcats. They've got a 7-4 lead. Yeah, the leading offensive player in that 3-set loss was Stevens, and she wasn't even in double digits. 7-4, short serve. Beautifully passed for Duke. Now Wanzenreed attacks, dug out of the back row by St. Kate's. Palmer will tip it over the block there, and waiting for it was Hare. Wildcats get another shot at it. Flatness dug out by Duke. Into the middle it goes. That was Miles. Flatness turned away. Good job just to keep it alive by Brewer. Palmer. Carleton playing some defensive volleyball. They went over on second contact and got the kill. Duke. Caroline Duke gets the kill. Outside hitter and a setter by trade. The 27th kill of the evening for Carleton College brings them within a pair. It's 7-5. St. Kate's trying to force a 4th set after they dropped the first 2 to the Knights here. Service error, not even close. Trish Hare, the 8th of the night for the Knights. I used to do games with former Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, Christine Tan. And she always told me our motto was miss long, miss long, miss long if you're serving, because you never know, they might bail you out on a serve. If you miss short, there's nothing you can do about it. You might just get lucky though if you miss long. And that's what she always told me. And boy, was she a tough server in her time playing for the Gophers. Monson Reed, her 4th kill. And again, the lead is just 2 for St. Kate's. She was a phenomenal player at the University of Minnesota on a team that went to a Final Four, and very tough serving player as well. She was out of the Tampa Bay area down there in Florida. To the slide we go. Stevens scores. 11 kills for Stevens. Just about on her season average. She'll undoubtedly be there by the end of this 3rd set. Wildcats would like to make sure that that doesn't happen. And there it is, the service error. That's the long version I was just talking about. Trichler. It can be kind of loud up here. Maybe those sage words of wisdom made their way all the way down to number 3 in the gray jersey. You never know. You think it did? Travis, our engineer, thinks definitely it did. Well, it's better than hitting it into the net. That's all I'll say. But if you're a Wildcat fan, you'll take the points any way that they come, and that's a great way to get them. It's Pepper off of the right side, her 4th kill. Wildcats, for the first time tonight, are the first to double digits. They lead it 10-7. Him in the southpaw serves. Monson Reed passes ahead. They got it to Stevens, who scored. Good effort by Hurd to get something on it, but Lucy Stevens, right on her season average of 4 kills a set, has a dozen here halfway through this 3rd set, crucial 3rd set. Goes without saying for St. Kate's. They need it to stay alive. Carleton trying to sweep. They were swept their last time out by the Augies. For St. Kate's, their last time out, a 4-setter on Saturday against Gustavus. That one, I believe, went into the antenna. It did. Faith Skinner's had a tough night. She's still looking for her 1st kill. Cats by 3. And a service error, Palmer. That one went way long. Somebody opened a door out there or something. That was like a jet stream carrying that one. 11-9 now. Cats on top by 2. They'll set it to the right side and got it. Libby Cruiser, her 4th. Volleyball tonight around the conference. St. Thomas is over in the Midway neighborhood. They're taking on Hamlin. And Gustavus is trailing the Augies 2 sets to none. Augsburg on top at home, 2 sets to none over Gustavus. The battle of unbeatens over there. Both teams 3-0. Wildcats have pushed their lead to 13-9. Cruiser serves. Duke tries for Stevens. And she hammered it through the block for yet another kill. Flatness was there along with Pepper on the block, but Stevens has a baker's dozen. Volleyball, such a great tradition of strong volleyball play in this state, as Stevens came up short. And it's the 10th service error for Carleton College. Maybe for the folks who are listening out on the West Coast who follow Carleton College, might not realize how strong volleyball is in the state of Minnesota. Obviously not known for its warm climate. Hey, an ace! One guy got handcuffed. Actually, check that. That was Celeste Chen off the bench for the first time. And she got handcuffed by Kish. Service game, that's the 5th of the night in aces for the Wildcats. Advantage in this 3rd set definitely belongs to the Wildcats. Flatness. Dug out by Flitner. Now Miles, that's dug out. Kish, Stevens, pardon me, it was a Flatness who couldn't come up with it. Nor could Nelson behind her. 15-11, 4-point lead. But if you look at all 3 levels of NCAA volleyball, St. Thomas is always in the top 25 nationally. They've won a national championship within the last couple of years in Division III. We know what they can do, and we know how they lose frequently in the conference. Well, not frequently. Flatness, another kill. She's got 7. But they do, you know, it's not like a dynasty over this whole program. I'm saying if they're good enough to win the national title, there are other teams in the conference good enough, all in Minnesota, to beat them. Division II, I think Duluth is number 2 in the country. Flatness again. I'm going to start calling her a southpaw. 8th kill of the night for Flatness, and a timeout taken on the floor by Carleton. We'll talk more about volleyball in the state of Minnesota when we come back. Wildcats, a very comfortable 17-11 lead as they look to force this 4th set on their home floor. You're listening to Wildcat Volleyball.
An innovative food and beverage solution since 1955 is Midwest Vending, servicing organizations large and small throughout the Twin Cities, including St. Catherine's University. Proud to offer unwavering integrity, in-demand products, innovative technology, and personal attention. Give them a call at 952-707-1990 or visit MidwestVending.com. For fitness equipment, treadmills, home gyms, exercise bikes, weights, and more, it's Push Pedal Pull, the exercise equipment experts, ready to help you with your fitness needs. Online at pushpedalpull.com, a proud supporter of St. Kate's Wildcat Sports.
17-11, Wildcats playing a very strong 3rd set as Carleton College is on the ropes in this 3rd set. Wildcats were the first to score, first to double digits, and now their lead is 6, 17-11. Matt Nelson welcoming you back. Talking about the really strong volleyball play in the state of Minnesota. I mentioned St. Thomas and what they've been able to do right out of the timeout. The Knights go to one of their pin hitters, Wanzen Reed, and she has her 5th kill. Always encouraging as a coach when you take that timeout, your team scores coming out of it. Duluth, the Bulldogs, they're number 2 in the country in volleyball. But you talk about Division II dynasties, Concordia College and St. Paul, the Golden Bears, they win the national title just about every single year in Division II. Literally, I think they won 6 out of the last 7. Nice shot, Palmer. Abby Palmer, her 7th. And it's 18-12, the lead is back to 6. Nicely done by Abby. And the Gophers in the Big Ten over there at the University of Minnesota, they're 2nd in the country as well. So very, very strong state for volleyball. If you're an elite player, this is where you want to be. Good dig out of the back row by the Wildcats, kept alive. Trichler got a roll shot in there. Now Kish set middle and it misfired. Cruiser came up with nothing but air. It's 18-13. Trichler at the service line. This is where you start to watch those service errors. At 18-13, they've started to pile up for the Knights. They've had 10 of them. Palmer for Kish. She set Cruiser, who scored it. Libby Cruiser has her 5th kill. The Wildcats lead at 19-13. Wildcats improving their hitting percentage. Carleton's is coming back down to earth. They're down to 235. Wildcats approaching 100. Newman, Skinner couldn't handle it. And it's an ace. It was hit twice. So, and a point for the Wildcats. Newman back to the service line. It's 20-13. Very comfortable 7-point lead. Wildcats trying to keep that foot on the accelerator. Stevens on the side. Boy, if you're Carleton, why not? That's where you go if you're in a rut and you need a point. You find number 12 in Navy. That's really going to make or break their season, is her effectiveness. It's just clear watching this. Newman for Cruiser into the middle. Stevens blocked. That ball came down inside the tape and Stevens got blocked. Cruiser was in there. Pepper was in there. Newman was even around. 7th block on the night for the Wildcats. 21-14. Lead is 7. Two things the Wildcats have done a lot better than Carleton in this set as Duke goes over on second contact and nets a point. They've blocked better and they've served tougher, and that's really been the difference, 21-15. And certainly at a much more efficient rate than they did earlier on in the night. Flipner's serve, Hurd, good pass for Newman. Nelson, and Nelson scored. So Newman finds Nelson for the kill. It's 22-15 in a match that suddenly looks like it's going to at least a fourth set. Last year the Wildcats defeated Carleton in 4 sets. Right now they're trying to stay alive in set number 3. Carleton uses their second timeout. It's 22-15. Cats all over the Knights in this third set, and you're listening to St. Kate's Volleyball.
Providing innovative food and beverage solutions since 1955 is Midwest Vending, servicing organizations large and small throughout the Twin Cities, including St. Catherine's University. Proud to offer unwavering integrity, in-demand products, innovative technology, and personal attention. Give them a call at 952-707-1990 or visit MidwestVending.com. For fitness equipment, treadmills, home gyms, exercise bikes, weights, and more, it's Push Pedal Pull, the exercise equipment experts, ready to help you with your fitness needs. Online at pushpedalpull.com, a proud supporter of St. Kate's Wildcat sports.
This is Eric Stacy, Athletic Director at St. Catherine University. You're listening to St. Kate's Athletics. Go Wildcats.
And out of the timeout, an ace! I had just mentioned the Wildcats have served really tough in this third set. They come out of the timeout by Carleton and Libby Cruiser. The 6th service ace of the night for St. Kate's. 23-15, your new score. Commanding lead, although Wildcats know they need to keep their foot, like I mentioned, on the gas pedal, because the match against St. Mary's, we saw that no lead is safe in this conference, and Stevens keeps Carleton around. 23-16 now as Stevens continues to pad the stats sheet. She's got 15 kills. Wildcats just need to find a way to put this thing away and go to that fourth set. An error on the serve will help. 11th for Carleton. And we hinted at that earlier. It's later on in these sets where those service errors are more glaring, 5-4 service error, move on to the next point. But when you're trying to make that comeback, they really seem to take the wind out of your sails. 24-16, set point for the Wildcats. Their first one of those tonight. Kish serves. Duke goes to the left side and a block. Block for the Wildcats sends us to the fourth set. Brewer along with Mullen on the block. Flatness. And it is the 8th block of the night for St. Kate's. They win the set number 3, 25-16. And there's life in the Wildcats as they look for that first MIAC victory of 2016. We'll play a fourth set from St. Paul when we come back. A reminder, our email address, wildcatsbooth@gmail.com.
Providing innovative food and beverage solutions since 1955 is Midwest Vending, servicing organizations large and small throughout the Twin Cities, including St. Catherine's University. Proud to offer unwavering integrity, in-demand products, innovative technology, and personal attention. Give them a call at 952-707-1990 or visit MidwestVending.com. For fitness equipment, treadmills, home gyms, exercise bikes, weights, and more, it's Push Pedal Pull, the exercise equipment experts, ready to help you with your fitness needs. Online at pushpedalpull.com, a proud supporter of St. Kate's Wildcat sports.
This is Eric Stacy, Athletic Director at St. Catherine University. You're listening to St. Kate's Athletics. Go Wildcats.
Transporting Wildcat athletes is in the capable hands of Northfield Lines, Inc., dedicated to ensuring that your travel experience is a positive one. Call to request a quote or to make a reservation, 888-670-8068, or visit their website, northfieldlines.com. Hungry before or after the game? Visit one of the 27 locations of Noodles & Company around the metro area. For menu, hours, locations, and online ordering, go to noodles.com.
back into the Butler Center in St. Paul. Wildcat volleyball back on the air. It's the fourth set as the Wildcats bounce back and find a way to win the third set 25-16. Matt Nelson with you, so happy you can spend a part of your week with us. Myself and our engineer Travis Monroe. Again, this broadcast, it's interactive. So far, we're only hearing from Knights fans. Wildcats booth at gmail.com. Come on, Wildcats fans, support your team and write in Wildcats booth at gmail.com. Pull out that smartphone, that iPad, that laptop, that pigeon, and go ahead and put a note on his leg and send him on over here. We like interacting with volleyball fans. We do the same thing for basketball as well. Sometimes we get some fiery debates going. Sometimes feelings are hurt. It's not for the weak. But we want you to write in Wildcats booth at gmail.com. 25-16, your score in set number 3 is the Wildcats. They wake up offensively and hit 200. Came up with 9 kills in that set. Carleton had 12, but they only hit 171. And the Wildcats have outblocked Carleton 8-2 on the night. So we go to this fourth set. The Wildcats will look to force a fifth. The way I see it on your home court, if you're going to force a fourth, you might as well force a fifth and win the darn thing. It'd be a heck of a good comeback for St. Kate's. They need this one if they want to position themselves to get into that middle of the pack in the MIAC and try to find a way into the playoffs. Trichler opens it up with a service error. A dozen of those now tonight for Carleton. Yeah, Augsburg, how about that? 2-0 advantage right now over Gustavus over at Cy Melby Hall in Minneapolis. So that's a battle of the undefeateds. Stevens on the slide, kept alive, and Cruiser managed to get it back on the Carleton side of the net. A whistle and a carry. That was called against Duke. It's 2-0 for St. Kate's, and you can see the momentum, you can hear the momentum. Out of my left ear, you can see they're really getting into it. Palmer, short serve. Duke sets middle, going way up for it was Wanzenried, and she killed it. 6th of the night for the sophomore out of Minnetonka. So Augsburg's up 2-0 right now across town. Hamlin is hosting St. Thomas. And check the out-of-town scoreboard on that one, as that one goes out of bounds. Another point for the Wildcats. Are up 3-1. And right now they're in the second set, and St. Thomas is all over Hamlin. They won the first set 25-15. It's 23-14 now in the second set over there by the fairgrounds. 4-1. Wildcats carrying that momentum from the third set into this fourth. They got a bounce in their step. Tonogai for the right side, and Carleton gets the kill. Nicely done as they go to Carragher, who we heard from in set 1 a lot. Didn't hear from her much in the second set. In fact, she had 3 kills in the first set, and that's her 4th. 4-2 lead for St. Kate's. Flitner, jump serve, that was a knuckleball. Palmer did well to get it to Newman. She sets Nelson, that's dug out. Free ball, kept alive. Tonogai got it back for Stevens. Hurd was there and waiting for it. Newman sets left side, that's dug out. Stevens roll shot, Hurd was there and ready for it. Newman, right side, sets Pepper, and she scored it, yes. Newman for Pepper. Wildcats are all over Carleton, it's 5-2. Pepper to the bench. Nelson stays in. Didn't see much of Nelson in the match against St. Mary's. Seeing much more of her here tonight. Kish short serving it again. And going to that left side. Trish Hare couldn't put it down. Wildcats counter with Brewer. Dug out. Duke kept it alive. Now Tonogai for Kish. Hurd. Swung on, and Nelson. Yes, cross court and a round of applause from head coach Corey Phelps. Nelson's second kill makes it 6-2.
6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. 6-
Carleton's offense is falling out of whack as the tough serving of the Wildcats is putting them out of rhythm. Tonagai sets Stevens. That's where they go when they're in a rut. Wildcats kept it alive, and Hurd sent it back over to Trichler, her counterpart. Left side, Trish Hare. Kish chased it down and was ready for it. To the right side, that was Brewer swinging at it. Back for Trichler. Wildcats should have a good look at this one. Why not flatness in the middle? Instead, they'll go Nelson left side. Got a great swing at it. Flittner kept it alive, and Hare was blocked. Trish Hare got blocked. Flatness. And Brewer in on the block, and the crowd is on their feet in the Butler Center. 9th block of the night for the Wildcats at 7-2. They lead this thing by 5. Kish, another tough serve. That one handcuffed Hare, but she got it to Tonagai, who managed a pretty good set at it, and Hare killed it. Second kill of the night for Trish Hare on 20 swings. She does have 11 digs, though. Good defensive player for Heidi Janes. Knuckling serve, Hurd ahead for Flatness. Oh, she spiked it right through the block. One-on-one, Hare against Flatness had no chance. 9th kill for the 6-foot freshman out of Elkmont, Illinois. Nelson serving it. Tonagai for Hare. Flatness. Jounced at the net. Kept alive. No, it's the 4th contact by Nelson in the middle. Catherine Miles will get credit for her 8th kill. Wildcats still, though, have doubled up Carleton to this point. It's 8-4. Palmer, Sets was turned away. Hurd kept it alive. Flatness sends a pass over. They'll slide it on over for Miles. And, oh, Carleton was called for being in the net. Illegal contact. And it's 9-4. Hurd will serve it at 9-4. Duke goes to the slide, and Miles, she makes it a 4-point match with her 9th kill. 9-5 updated score. Palmer got a nice charge at that one, was turned away. She'll get another look at this one. No, oh, good job just to get a left hand on it and curl it around the official. Wanzenried, dugout, into the middle, Cruiser, Trichler, ready for the Knights. Good back and forth, close match. And it's Carragher getting her 5th kill for the Knights. They trim the lead to 9-6. Reminder, fans, follow St. Kate's Athletics on Twitter, at St. Kate's Wildcats. Make sure you give them a follow. Right side, oh, a bomber! Kelly Brewer with authority. Brewer's first kill. That was a nice one, a dandy. Got the fans into it, 10-6. And a whistle is going to give Carleton a point. Illegal contact against St. Kate's, but this one is close. 10-7 your score. Into the middle. Hurd kept it alive after Cruiser was turned away, and Larson is going to get a kill for Carleton. Lucy Stevens, pardon me, her 16th. Stevens, and it's 10-8. Leading scorer for either team is Stevens. Newman for Cruiser. Dug out by Carragher. Now Stevens again. She's got back-to-backers. Watch out if she gets in rhythm. It's 10-9. 17 kills now for Stevens and a timeout taken on the floor. Wildcats led by as many as 6. That lead has been trimmed to 1. 10-9 your score from St. Paul.
Food and beverage solution since 1955 is Midwest Vending, servicing organizations large and small throughout the Twin Cities, including St. Catherine's University. Proud to offer unwavering integrity, in-demand products, innovative technology, and personal attention. Give them a call at 952-707-1990 or visit MidwestVending.com. For fitness equipment, treadmills, home gyms, exercise bikes, weights, and more, it's Push Pedal Pull, the exercise equipment experts, ready to help you with your fitness needs. Online at pushpedalpull.com, a proud supporter of St. Kate's Wildcat Sports.
This is Eric Stacy, Athletic Director at St. Catherine University. You're listening to St. Kate's Athletics. Go Wildcats.
Trent.
We're back from the Butler Center, refurbished and remodeled circa 2015, so it has that new gymnasium feel. And right now, after getting out to a nice early lead, Carleton College has stormed back. They won the first 2 sets. They've stormed back to take the last few points, and it's 10-9. Newman for Palmer, who's on the right side. Trichler was there to dig it out, and into the middle, Stevens. Her 18th. Big numbers for Stevens, and we're all tied up at 10 apiece. You know, it's funny you talk about players who are putting up big numbers. One of the most exciting matches I ever did was at the XL tournament. It was Eden Prairie against Lakeville North. Listen to the story. Who was there? Was I there? It's Carleton scores. They take an 11-10 lead. Hard to tell a story if you can't remember it. No, I remember it. It was Eden Prairie and Lakeville North. And it was Wilhite and Gaynor were the 2 great players for each of those teams respectively. Gaynor, Lakeville North, and Wilhite, Eden Prairie. And it's the only time I can ever say this. They went 5 sets and both players had more than 40 kills. It was incredible. Back and forth like 2 heavyweights. And this one is going back and forth as well. Mackenzie Palmer, 6th kill. It's 11-11. This one suddenly has the feel of a match that's going to go down to the wire. Did not look that way after the first 2 sets. 25-18 and 25-20 in favor of the Knights. Wildcats battled back convincingly, won the 3rd set. And here they are duking this thing out in the 4th. Exciting action. Newman for Nelson. Duke was there and waiting for it. Wenzen Reed with the tip shot, and they're going to say it went around the antenna. So it's out and a point for St. Kate's, 12-11. Setting near side, going way up for that one was Carragher, her 6th kill. Both Shanae Hurd and Lucy Stevens for Carleton, they lead the MIAC in multiple statistical categories. Hurd is the top libero with 380 digs, an average of 6.3 digs per set. And we've talked at great length about the offensive prowess of Stevens. Both teams with a dozen here. Palmer, back row. She's normally pretty good at those. Didn't get much on that last one. Stevens in the middle. Oh, whistle before that in the net. I'm going to say illegal contact, actually. 2 hits called against Carleton. Bummer if you're a Carleton fan, because Stevens was licking her chops at that one. She had a wide open look at an easy kill. But it's 13-12 and the Wildcats have the lead. If the Wildcats are going to win this, it'll take 5 sets. Coach Phelps thought that they really could compete well against this Carleton team. Middle flatness got turned away. Bounded back over by St. Kate's like a pinball machine. Stevens got the better of flatness. It was 1-on-1, and the veteran Stevens got her 19th kill. 13-13. I'm wrong multiple times a day. Just ask my wife. But this feels like it's going to go to 5 sets. Just saying. Not trying to jinx anything, but there's a kill. Pepper Mackenzie Pepper, her 7th kill. It's 14-13. Oh, and I'd love to see that. Abby Palmer, who I've always admired her talent, but I've always joked about the game face out there. She is urging her young teammates on to finish strong. Love to see that. Right side, Hurd dug it out. Kish will set it for Nelson. He just tapped it over the net into the middle. Stevens kept alive by Nelson. Now Hurd. Kish a roll shot. Carleton will reset, and they'll go right back to their workhorse, Stevens. Pass tightly to the net, kept alive by St. Kate's into the middle. Flatness couldn't put it away. Her second try goes into the net. It's a block for Lucy Stevens. 3rd of the evening for Carleton, and it's 14-14. You look at this Carleton team, and it's a team that Coach Phelps said that he thought preseason could have a lot of success. To me, it comes down to, I mentioned Stevens and how she'll play for the rest of the year, but they got to find offensively somebody who can take some of that pressure off of her. Wildcats get a kill on the right side. Nelson will go back to serve it. It's 15-14. Nelson will serve it. Low lining serve. Flintner for Tritchler. Now there's Hurd. Wildcats will go to Palmer, their veteran. That's dug out. Now Duke will come to the near side. Trish Hare got it through the block, got it through the net, and got the kill. Her 3rd makes it 15-15. This 4th set is a race to 10. Which team is going to find that long scoring streak? And in a set like this, that could be 2 or 3 points either way. Duke will serve. And it's a service error. 13 of those tonight for Carleton. It's 16-15. The Wildcats get the lead back. Hurd goes back to serve. 16-15. Here comes Hurd, knuckling the serve to her counterpart. They set the slide. Miles and a whistle in the net. In the net was called against Carleton. Pardon me, against the Wildcats. It was called against Libby Cruiser. And we're knotted up at 16 apiece. So the Wildcats get one on a service error. They give it right back with a violation. And now Carleton will serve it with Hare. Right side. Brewer scoring it. Kelly Brewer, a freshman out of St. Croix Lutheran High School. She has come off of the bench for Coach Phelps and provided a real spark. 17-16, Newman gives it a spin and a serve. Duke takes the pass, goes into the middle, a block! Oh baby, what a block! Cruiser and Pepper, the 10th block of the night for the Wildcats. It's 18-16. And Carleton and the Knights have no choice but to take a timeout. Wildcats by 2, late in set number 4. Wildcats trying to force a 5th set.
Providing innovative food and beverage solutions since 1955 is Midwest Vending. Servicing organizations large and small throughout the Twin Cities, including St. Catherine's University. Proud to offer unwavering integrity, in-demand products, innovative technology, and personal attention. Give them a call at 952-707-1990 or visit MidwestVending.com. For fitness equipment, treadmills, home gyms, exercise bikes, weights, and more, it's Push Pedal Pull. The exercise equipment experts, ready to help you with your fitness needs. Online at pushpedalpull.com, a proud supporter of St. Kate's Wildcat Sports.
This is Eric Stacy, Athletic Director at St. Catherine University. You're listening to St. Kate's Athletics. Go Wildcats.
All right, we'll bring you back into the only place where you can find more political gaffes and political zingers than in the debate the other night. You found it. Wildcats Athletics with Matt Nelson. 18-16 your score, and Wildcats have the advantage trying to force this 5th set. Hard to see it coming when Carleton came on 125-18 and 25-20, but here we are, 18-16 out of the timeout. The slide and the kill. Boy, Shanae Hurd has absolutely no fear. She went chasing after that concrete wall like it was nothing. Couldn't come up with it. Catherine Miles has her 10th kill, and it's a 1-point set. That's Shanae Hurd, though. Just absolutely no fear. We might want to put some padding up on that wall if she's going to keep chasing after those like that. Free ball on the Wildcats, whiffed it. Doggone it. Libby Cruiser couldn't come up with it, and that was a cookie. We're all tied up at 18-18. And I got all excited. When I saw that one coming over, I thought for sure there'd be a 2-point Wildcat lead. Instead, we're all knotted up. Newman for Pepper. Squeezed it through the block. Now Duke. Sets Stevens. That's handled. And Palmer bumps it over. They'll go right back to Stevens, and she gets it done for him. Lucy Stevens has 20 tonight. 19-18. Not many applause for that in the Butler Center, but I'm sure out there in Portland, they're going crazy. Carleton has recaptured the lead. Wildcats need a point in the worst way possible. Palmer deflected. Hurd. Newman tries Palmer again. Got it! Abby Palmer has her 8th kill. Had to go back to the well for that one, but we're tied at 19-19. And Palmer will serve it. Which one of these teams is going to have the serving advantage the rest of the way? So far, it's been St. Kate's. That was a tough one. Carragher, not her best pass, but she got it. A swing on it. Newman sets close to the net. Cruiser now dug out. Duke Stevens, misfire. That's 4 hits and a point for the Wildcats. A hitting error for Stevens. It's 20-19. Wildcats trying to delay that bus trip down to Northfield. For the Knights, 1-point lead, and their veteran Palmer at the service line. Just where they want to be. Chasing Duke all the way over to the bleachers. Trichler just manages a pass over the net. Into the middle, a kill! Libby Cruiser, her 6th. It's 21-19. Two-point lead for the Wildcats. They trailed by 1. That's 3 in a row. Palmer, an ace, an ace! The 7th for St. Kate's, and a timeout on the floor. The last one for Carleton. A 3-point lead after 4 straight points. The Cats are running in the Butler Center. They're up 22-19 in set number 4.
Transporting Wildcat athletes is in the capable hands of Northfield Lines, Inc., dedicated to ensuring that your travel experience is a positive one. Call to request a quote or to make a reservation, 888-670-8068, or visit their website, northfieldlines.com. Hungry before or after the game? Visit one of the 27 locations of Noodles & Company around the metro area. For menu, hours, locations, and online ordering, go to noodles.com.
And we are back in the Butler Center. The Carleton Knights went on a 3-point run to take a 1-point lead at 19-18. Since that, 4 straight for St. Kate's has them on top, 22-19. Matt Nelson alongside of engineer Travis Monroe. So happy you can be with us tonight as the Wildcats look to force a 5th set. Heidi James has been pretty quick in those timeouts tonight in whatever it is that she's been saying, but that was the longest that she's kept her team in the huddle. 18 seasons at Carleton College. Palmer serves. Here we go, 22-19. They go to Stevens, no surprise there. And the ball was ruled in. A kill for Lucy Stevens. That's number 21. It's 22-20. Something everyone in the gym knows where that ball's going, and it's still pretty hard to stop. Amber Zier off last year's team was such a great blocker. Newman will try Nelson. Guy was there. Stevens again. Oh, she tied it up single-handedly. 22-22. And that is the 22nd kill for Stevens. Oh, 22-21, pardon me. It's 22-21. They got that point up there quickly. Still the 1-point lead for St. Kate's. Newman, misfired. Now we're tied at 22 apiece. Newman couldn't find Pepper, and I think Corey wants a timeout. He'll get it. We're all squared up, 22-22. One of these two teams has got to get to 25 or win it by 2. You're listening to Wildcat Volleyball. 4-set action from St. Paul.
Twin Cities Orthopedics offers a full spectrum of orthopedic care to individuals suffering sports-related problems and injuries. Their doctors are team physicians to the University of St. Catherine's, Augsburg College, Hamline University, and others. Visit tcomn.com. On your way to or from the game or anytime, visit your area Little Caesars. There is one just off the St. Kate's campus at 635 Snelling Avenue South. Call ahead with your order, 651-699-5551. Keep up with the activities of TJ Broadcast Services on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at TJ Sports Online.
Hi, this is Sean Pinkerton, basketball coach at St. Kate's. You're listening to Wildcat Basketball on TJSportsOnline.net. Go Cats.
Welcome you back in. You're listening to Wildcat Volleyball on the air, 22-22. All tied up in set number 4. Nelson for Newman into the middle. They go. Cruiser, yes. And a fist pump all around the gym. I saw Eric Stacy fist pump. I saw the coach Corey Phelps do it, and I certainly saw Cruiser with one as well. Her 7th kill. It's 23-22. Cruiser to the service line. Wildcats trying to force a 5th set. This ball, you better believe it's going to Stevens. There it goes, and she's got a kill. 23rd of the night for Lucy Stevens, as these two teams are punching and counter-punching in this 4th set. Of the now 4 sets, this has by far and away been the most entertaining set of volleyball. The action has been much more tight, much more crisp than it was in the early going. Newman for Nelson. Kept alive, sent back over. Hurd, did well to send back over to belabor this point. Now it is Stevens attacking. She couldn't put it down, and Nelson did it. Wildcats go to their young pin hitter, Nelson. She has her 3rd kill, and it's set point 24-23. It'll be Kish serving. A Carleton side out would force extra points in this 4th set. A Wildcat point would force a 5th set. 5th and ultimate set. Kish serves ahead. Duke will set for Stevens. She got it to Palmer, who dug it out straight up. Hurd will roll it on over to Trichler. Duke sets Stevens, who's blocked, kept alive by Tonagai. Now Stevens got another swing at it. It's out of bounds. A nail biter, but we're going to the 5th set, 25-23. The Wildcats win it. Carleton wins the 1st and 2nd sets. The Wildcats answer and win the 3rd and 4th. Off we go to the 5th set. It'll be a race to 15. The Knights will go for their 2nd win of the season in the MIAC. The Wildcats will look to break their 4-match losing streak. That's when we bring you back. You are listening to Wildcat Volleyball on TJSportsOnline.net.
Transporting Wildcat athletes is in the capable hands of Northfield Lines, Inc., dedicated to ensuring that your travel experience is a positive one. Call to request a quote or to make a reservation, 888-670-8068, or visit their website, northfieldlines.com. Hungry before or after the game? Visit one of the 27 locations of Noodles & Company around the metro area. For menu, hours, locations, and online ordering, go to noodles.com.
This is Kelsey Whaley, Sports Information Director at St. Kate's, and you're watching Wildcat Webcast. Go Cats!
Yeah, Wildcat fans, they are feeling happy as we go to this 5th set in St. Paul, and boy, what a night of volleyball it has been. It looked early like Carleton was going to dominate it behind the play of their middle blocker, Lucy Stevens, but the Wildcats found a way to come back and win the third set by a score 25-16. Great rally and showed some real toughness to win that one. Set number 4, that was the heavyweight knockdown, drag out type fight. 25-23, the Wildcats managed to weather the storm. Those 3 in a row by Carleton put them back on top. The Wildcats answered with 4 more of their own and hung on. They hit 152 in the 4th set. Carleton actually out-hit them. They hit 234 on the night. The Wildcats are hitting 113. Carleton hitting 227. But they've out-blocked Carleton. 9.5 blocks for the Wildcats to just 2 for Carleton. And I mentioned they've out-blocked them. They've also out-served them. The 14 service errors for Carleton really jumps out at you right now. So we'll play to 15. This is the big one, the 5th set. Reminder, as you follow MIAC Athletics, you got to make sure that you're following St. Kate's Athletics on Twitter at St. Kate's Wildcats, and follow the volleyball team as well at St. Kate's VB. And reminder as well, as you follow the volleyball season, tune into the MIAC podcast. Mike Gallagher will take you through all the comings and goings of what is sure to be an exciting season in volleyball in 2016. Wildcats will serve it first as they look to come back, which is tough duty against a team of the caliber of Carleton to come back from 2 sets to none and win 3 sets in a row. Newman serves, and we are off in set number 5. Stevens on the slide, knocked Hurd right to her bottom, but she managed to dig it out. Nelson roll shot out of the back row. Duke will set the middle. Stevens kept alive but carried by St. Kate's. So Lucy Stevens has her 24th kill, and the first point of this 5th set goes to Carleton. These first few points are so much more critical than they are in a set that goes to 25. Point being, you only play it to 15. So really, it's like starting at 10-10. Left side, swinging away was Carragher. Hurd will roll it over. The Wildcats haven't gotten a swing at one so far in this 5th set. Stevens whistled one out on the slide. Nelson couldn't handle it. It's 2-0 Knights. 25 kills for Stevens. Guy serves. Wildcats need a point. You don't want to let Carleton just run away and hide with this thing. They go to Stevens again. She was blocked, but Carragher was there to keep it alive. Cats need this one. They go to the middle. Cruiser. And no call, and they're going to say a point for the Wildcats. Oh, that's a tough one. Heidi Janes up on her feet. A very indecisive call by the line judge, who has a look of discomfort about her. That looked, from my vantage point, close. How's that for a politically correct answer? Right through the tape goes the serve. Wildcats can tie it here. Stevens attacks. Palmer digs. Newman for Nelson. That's dug out of the back row by Trish Hare. Now to the near side. Oh, Hurd bailed her out. Maggie Carragher gets the kill. Hurd threw a hand up towards it. From our vantage point, you could see that ball was, unless it really found some spin halfway there, it was going out. 3-1. Anna Flintner will serve it, the junior. Charges ahead with a jump serve, it's short. 15th service error of the night for Carleton College. Keeps the Wildcats right there. It's 3-2. Cats trail it by 1. Libby Cruiser goes back to the line to serve it. Right in the middle of the floor. Flat-footed serve is a knuckler. Flintner works it ahead. They go to Stevens, and she just pounded that one. No block even there to get any contact at all. Kill number 26 for Stevens. It's 4-2. This has been the Wildcats against Stevens show, and she's back to serve it. Hurd, not her best pass. Newman chased it down. That's going around the antenna. It's a point for Carleton. Pepper tried to chase it down at the last second. Tough serve by Stevens. Makes it 5-2. An ace for the Knights is their 5th. 3-point lead. One more of those, and coach is going to have to use that timeout early here. Perfect pass for Newman. Got to have it. Cruiser Dug out by Flitner. Out to the near side, that's Trish Hare, and she got blocked. Oh, nicely done. A block for the Wildcats just in the nick of time. Flatness and Pepper team up on the block. That's number 11 for St. Kate's. And they trail it by 2, 5-3 with the freshman Kish back at the line, ready to serve it. Pass goes for Duke. She somehow managed to get it to Miles. Now the Wildcats, they go Brewer. Tunnel guy dug it, and nobody's home. Ooh. Big deep breath from head coach Corey Phelps as they lucked out Tonagai with the dig, but just nobody was in the middle of the floor to take that second hit. Wildcats can tie it at 5. Right now it's 5-4 Carleton. Kish serves it. Duke sets near side. Big power on it by Hare, but it's dug out by the Wildcats. Hurd passes it over. Need defense. Duke sets Miles. She was blocked. It was kept alive. Miles got another hit on it. Now it's set for Nelson into the back row. Trichler chased it down. Near side, Hare attacks. Palmer's there. Over on second contact of the Wildcats. Tonagai was ready for it. Back row, Palmer went way up to keep it alive. Nelson swings off of the pin. Trichler with an effort to keep it alive. Trading blows here, and the Wildcats get the point. After all that, it's a hitting error by Trish Hare to give the point to St. Kate's. It's 5-5. Wildcats have come back to tie it up. Kish serves. Over on second contact, Duke dug out somehow by Kish out of the back row. Flatness roll shot. Up ahead it is Duke, and that's a wild miss. No touch at the net as Catherine Miles couldn't score it. And this is when St. Kate's really needs to make hay. When you've got Lucy Stevens standing on that sideline, that offense for Carleton, really the brakes go on. And that time they tried to get it to the left side, touched at the net, and in the net's going to be called against St. Kate's. That's an ouch. It goes against Brewer. 6-6. Wanzenried re-enters. Duke a look to the bench where Coach Janes, almost 20 years down there in Northfield coaching. Kish for Brewer, that's high and out of bounds. 7-6, Carleton recaptures the lead. Palmer for Kish. Now Nelson kept alive. Hare got a swing at it. Kish was there. And Hurd calls off Nelson to send it over. Duke, she sets the slide for Miles. It was blocked but kept alive. Trichler out of the back row goes to the roll shot. Palmer ahead, Flatness out of the middle. Couldn't pound it down. It was the best look the Cats have had. Duke on the dig. Palmer that time dug that one out. Now Brewer, tip shot. They're waiting for it. Was Wanzenried sent back over for Palmer. And now Nelson the tip shot. Duke was there. Trichler chases it down. Wanzenried attacks. Palmer was ready for it. Wildcats will try to pin at Nelson, and she got blocked. Her shot was short. They're not going to give a block. It's into the net, and we'll switch sides. 8-6. The Carleton lead. So the teams will swap sides as we are in set number 5. And the Wildcats somehow found a way to win the third and fourth sets. Now they need to find a way to complete this comeback in the 5th set. And a timeout taken on the floor. Let's do the same and break. You're listening to Wildcat Athletics on TJSportsOnline.net. Exciting, thrilling 5th set action from St. Paul.
The game or anytime, visit your area Little Caesars. There is one just off the St. Kate's campus at 635 Snelling Avenue South. Call ahead with your order, 651-699-5551. Keep up Transporting Wildcat athletes is in the capable hands of Northfield Lines, Inc., dedicated to ensuring that your travel experience is a positive one. Call to request a quote or to make a reservation, 888-670-8068, or visit their website, northfieldlines.com.
All right, let's take a breather here. The players did it. We got to do it too, because this has been a thriller. Carleton wins the first set 25-18, the second set 25-20. Wildcats bounce back, dominate the third set 25-16, and win the fourth 25-23. This one looks just as close. 8-6 your score. Carleton on top. They've got Duke back at the service line. And let's get back into it out of the timeout. Coach Corey Phelps took it. Hurd, not her best pass, and a free ball put down. The overpass. Trish Hare got her hand on it and knocked it down for the fourth kill. 9-6. Carleton's lead is 3. Cats need a point desperately. Nelson off of the right side. Trichler digs that one out. Now Hurd's turn. Brewer again. Trichler is there. Into the middle they go. Miles couldn't put it away, and a whiff. It was Kish looking in the middle for flatness, and that combination has just not quite been in sync. The timing has not been there tonight between those two. Newman seems to have the better connection so far tonight with flatness offensively. 4-point lead, it's 10-6. Knuckling serve, that goes out of bounds. Keeps the Wildcats alive here. 16th service error of the night for Carleton College. It's 10-7. This match by no means is over. Wildcats need a run though, and they need it now. Nelson at the service line, had plenty on it. Trichler got it ahead for Duke. Onto the back row, attacking and scoring was Trish Hare. Maybe her best swing of the night. Came up and really put a good swing on it. To make it 11-7. Hare will serve it. Wildcats down by 4. Carleton needs 4. That time they got the bounce off of the tape. Hurd, a perfect pass. Palmer, greatly dug out by Hare. Into the middle it goes, and a kill. Catherine Miles got one. It's her 11th. It's a 5-point lead for Carleton College. 12-7, and Coach Phelps melts timeout to the official. He'll get it. The Knights in control. Can the Wildcats come back in the 5th set? We'll find out when we come back. You're listening to Wildcat Volleyball.
For fitness equipment, treadmills, home gyms, exercise bikes, weights, and more, it's Push Pedal Pull. The exercise equipment experts, ready to help you with your fitness needs. Online at pushpedalpull.com. A proud supporter of St. Kate's Wildcat Sports.
This is Eric Stacy, Athletic Director at St. Catherine University. You're listening to St. Kate's Athletics. Go Wildcats.
Transporting Wildcat athletes is in the capable hands of Northfield Lines, Inc., dedicated to ensuring that your travel experience is a positive one. Call to request a quote or to make a reservation, 888-670-8068.
We're back from St. Paul, 12-7, Carleton on top. Set number 5, they won the first 2 sets. The Wildcats found a way in the 3rd and 4th. Now they trail it by 5. Hurd for Kish to the slide. Flatness was blocked. Carragher on the block. 4th of the night. For Carleton, it's 13-7. Things starting to look bleak right now for the Wildcats. With Hare back to serve. She goes to Palmer, and Kish got it over on second contact. Did well to do it too. That was Miles attacking. Wildcats were there. Palmer got stymied. Oh, she got blocked, and it's match point. She was blocked, smothered. Wanson Reed and Miles, 5th block of the night for Carleton College. It's match point. The Wildcats need 7 straight to force extras. Hare goes back to the line to serve. Serve is away. Palmer for Kish. And swing away was Brewer. Trichler chased it down. Match point. Kish for Palmer. There to dig that one out was Hare. To the pin we go. Carragher. And now Brewer scored it. 1 down, 6 to go. Brewers fourth. 14-8. The tough serving Herd came into the match with 25 aces on the season. We could use number 26 right here. Tritchler handled it nicely. Duke to the slide. Miles. Herd was there to dig it out. Kish chased it down. Brewer roll shot. Dug out by Herd to the near side. Wanzenried fires, and she scores. Game over. Wanzenried scores. Carleton dominates the fifth set. 15-8 your final score in set number 3 as the Wildcats had just enough in them to force the fifth set, but could not come up with the clincher in this fifth set. Stay tuned. Short post-game show coming your way when we come back as the Knights come out with a 5-set thriller in St. Paul.
On your way to or from the game or anytime, visit your area Little Caesars. There is one just off the St. Kate's campus at 635 Snelling Avenue South. Call ahead with your order, 651-699-5551.
Wildcat postgame show is on the air as St. Kate's falls to Carleton and the Knights 15-8, the final in the fifth set. The set totals: Carleton wins set number 1 25-18, set number 2 25-20. Wildcats bounce back and win by 9 in set number 3 25-16. A close one in set number 4 25-23 before Carleton comes out and wins by 7 in the fifth set 15-8 your final score. Lucy Stevens, the workhorse tonight for the Carleton Knights, who improve their season record to 10-3. They are now at 500 in the conference, 2-2. The Wildcats fall to 8-9, 0-4 in the MIAC. They've lost their last 5. Stevens with 26 kills on 58 tries. Get her some ice for that right shoulder. 293 her hitting percentage. For the Wildcats, their leading offensive player was Flatness. She had 10 kills. Cruiser had 9. Pepper had 8. Nelson had 4. She was featured a lot. Late Catherine Miles had 12 for the Knights. Trish Hare had 7. Wanzenried had 7. Duke had a pair. The setter position, 40 assists for Duke, 14 I should say for Tonogai. For the Wildcats, Newman 18 assists. Kish had 22 as well. Defensively, 17 digs for Duke. Trish Hare had 19. Tritchler had 28, and for the Wildcats digging the ball, Hurd had 33 of them. Palmer had 20. Schrupp had 10 off of the bench as well. Anytime you play 5 sets, you start seeing some crazy big numbers. But in the end, the number on the board is 15-8 in this fifth set. Again, the Wildcats fall to 0-4 in the MIAC. They will host Bethel on Friday night, and we'll have that for you about 10 minutes before first serve on tjsportsonline.net. So for Athletics Director Eric Stacy, Head Coach Corey Phelps, Engineer Travis Monroe, I'm Matt Nelson, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll talk to you again on Friday night as the Wildcats will be back in action against the Royals from Bethel University. Have a great night and a great week.